Hey guys, I am here today talking about the Ultra Vanish Carbon Racer. Now, first looks of this shoe, I think it looks fantastic. I really like the colorway, I really like the gold writing, I really like how they have tried to make this shoe stand out and look like a super shoe. So yeah, that's a great start. Now, Altra obviously are kind of known for having their zero drop shoes and wide toe boxes. With this shoe, I found that it does probably fit up about half a size small. When I stuck on my normal size, my toes were close to the edges and I could feel the outside border of the shoe. So despite it meant to having a slightly wider toe box to allow your feet to spread, I actually found that it hasn't got that and it just fits up like a normal shoe, and that they've just changed the curves and the contours through the end. It's almost like they've kind of made this bit here more rounded, whereas a normal shoe wouldn't be quite like that. But to me, it doesn't make sense. I don't know. Look, there's a lot of different people that like having the zero drop shoes, but I feel like it holds the shoe back a little bit with innovation, with actual energy return and reduction in energy consumption when you are running. I feel like if this was going to be good and work, then Nike would have probably done the Vaporfly or the Alphafly in this shape of shoe. So I think that that's a bit of a drawback to start with. I don't mind having the zero drop because look, I don't really believe that drops make a huge amount of difference in shoes anymore. There's such different compounds in shoes that most of the shoes feel like they've got a negative drop anyway, just due to the plates and due to the excess foam that they do have underneath the ball of the foot. So does this shoe feel like a zero drop? Look, it does, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like you rock back as much as, say, the Alphafly or something, where the forefoot definitely is a lot firmer. So yeah, you can't tell the drop quite as much with this super shoe, which I think will make it more accessible to a wider range of people. Now, the upper itself I do really like. The back has a nylon type of material that runs through, and it's got an extra little bit of cushioning just around the Achilles, so there's no slippage. That is super comfortable. Feels really premium. You've kind of got suede through the inside and then that plastic coating that runs through the outside. And then through the front, we've just got a single layered engineered mesh. You do have an extra bit of support running through the midfoot with a few extra chains on the inside that are connected to the laces that gives you a bit of extra lockdown and stability. So yeah, look, I really like the upper. I really like the way it looks. Now, the rest of the sole. So obviously we've got a Pebax foam sole here. It doesn't feel quite as energetic as a lot of other shoes. It does feel a lot firmer than other shoes, but that said, the stack height is a little bit lower as well. It does bend a fair bit, which is quite surprising for a carbon shoe. Obviously, we'd expect something to be more rigid, but then again, it is rigid through that forefoot. So I guess back to the whole point of where Altra used to be kind of a more of a minimalist shoe, barefoot style shoe. They've now moved into a shoe where they've got support through the midfoot. They've got a plate that doesn't flex where the foot is meant to flex. We've got foam that has response back up, and it just doesn't feel like a barefoot ride whatsoever. It feels like a company that has a barefoot shoe that's now wanting to do a super shoe and try and compete within that market. But I hate to say it, but it just doesn't quite hit the spot. And look, everything that I just said, it pretty much is. But for a super shoe, I don't think it hits it. I think this would have been great as just the top of the line trainer. Maybe if they'd gone for something with a slightly firmer heel counter and a bit of extra plush cushioning around the top, I think that would work really well. But I don't think it works as a super shoe for something that's going to be the ultimate racer and you're going to run your PBs in. Which is, yeah, it's a shame. The outsole isn't the greatest. It's slightly thicker than a lot of other super shoes would have. I guess they've tried to go on for the lines here where it runs down through the metatarsals just to give it that more barefoot aesthetic once again. We do have quite a thick layer of outsole on the heel as well, but the outsole isn't super grippy. It's not the greatest outsole in the world. Again, it's just something that's put together just to try and get into that super shoe market, I feel. But at the moment, this isn't pushing any boundaries. Go and try it on, but I think that there's plenty of other options for the price range that this is in that you're going to get much more of an enjoyable, responsive, faster ride with. Alright guys, I'd like to thank the running shop in Burley Heads on the Gold Coast for supplying these shoes so that we can give you guys the best shoe reviews we can.